What is up, you guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Rachel Graham, and I am a digital creator, a registered nurse, and a mom. Today, I'm going to be talking about what is hiding in your food, your water, and your air. Microplastics exposed. All right, I'm going to share my screen right now, so stay with me, guys. This is going to be a doozy, okay? This is something that I've honestly just been made aware of recently. A dear friend of mine is very passionate about microplastics, and she sent me so many things, and I finally watched something, and it was a documentary that literally blew my mind, and I can't even begin to scratch the surface with this video, but I want to give you guys just a real quick, in-depth, deep dive, but kind of overview as well, surface overview on what are microplastics, the hidden danger in your body. So stay tuned to the end, you guys. Okay, so you're eating plastic, literally. It's in your food, it's in your water, even your blood. So we're going to talk about microplastics and why you should care about this. If you care about nutrition and you care about exercise and you care about longevity and your family's health, then you really need to pay attention to this, because this is literally mind-blowing. So today I'm breaking down the invisible invader in your daily life, which is microplastics, and what they're actually doing to your body. So on this slide, I have images of just piles and piles of garbage, plastic waste. There's an image of plastics in the water, and then there's an image of your red blood cells. So we're going to tie this all together, and it's pretty shocking. So what even are microplastics? So they're tiny little plastic particles less than 5 millimeters across. They're formed when larger plastics break down in the environment. They come from plastic packaging like single-use products, synthetic clothing, fibers, car tires, cosmetics, and personal care products. Where are they found? They're found in our oceans, rivers, air, soil. They've been found in rainwater, on remote mountain peaks. They are also found in drinking water, in salt, in honey, fruits and vegetables, you guys. So microplastics enter the food chain when marine animals actually mistake them for food, which is so disturbing to think that our marine animals are ingesting plastics because they think they're food. That's so sad, you guys. So the average person could ingest or inhale tens of thousands of microplastic particles every year. So how do they get into your body? Ingestion through food and water, inhalation, airborne microfibers, and absorption via skincare products, or actually synthetic products that you wear. Our clothing is made of these synthetic products. Fast fashion companies that are churning out these garments that you can, spend $200 on a website and you get like 40 different items. That stuff is made of plastic. I think a lot of us know that, but we don't really understand that plastic is actually getting into our bodies. So let's keep it going. So how is plastic made? We've got to go back to the beginning. So raw materials. And I'm not joking. What you see on this screen is what plastics are made out of. Crude oil, natural gas, or coal. Those raw materials are refined and processed into hydrocarbon compounds. How is plastic then produced? Like, what are the steps of production? So number one, extraction and refining. Crude oil, natural gas, they are extracted and refined to produce fractions. These fractions are naphtha, ethane, and propane. Then it goes to the polymerization step, which is where these fractions are chemically processed from polymers. Pelletizing, where the polymers melt and are formed into small little petals called nurdles. Don't lose me now. Stay tuned, because this is key, you guys. You got to understand this. I'm not going to go too far into the science, though, so don't be afraid, okay? And then shaping and forming, where the pellets are melted and shaped into the final products. So what are the different types of plastic? I'm going to just go real quick. Polyethylene terephthalate, so PET. This is your plastic water bottles, your food packaging, polyester fibers. Everybody knows polyester is a fabric, right? That most of our clothing are made out of. So that's actually made of this plastic product. High density polyethylene. Many of us have heard that. That's what your milk jugs are made out of, detergent bottles, piping. Low density polyethylene. So this is your plastic bags, your saran wrap, squeeze bottles for ketchup and mustard and things like that. And then you have your polypropylene or your PP. This is your food containers, auto parts, textiles. Polystyrene, another one a lot of us have heard of. This is foam cups, food trays, packing materials. And then the polyvinyl chloride, or PVC. So many of us have heard of this stuff, right? Pipes, window frames, medical devices. And then other types of plastic like acrylic or polycarbonate, ABS, which make glass lenses, CDs, compact discs. I don't know how many of us actually purchase those anymore, but they're still they're out in the market, they're available. And then specialty plastics. So what are the health risks? I've gone over the basics. What are the health risks? So microplastics, and this is where it starts to blow your mind, they have been found in 88 to 90% of tested human blood samples, specifically polyethylene, polystyrene, and polypropylene. Okay, so if we go back to the previous side, that's bottles, food packaging, polyester fibers, milk jugs, detergent bottles, plastic bags, film wrap. These are things we use every single day, you guys. So studies detecting microplastics can cross the intestinal barrier and enter your bloodstream, where they travel to the liver, the kidneys, the brain, potentially altering cell metabolism and inflammatory response, leading to hormone disruption and gut issues. So many of us are having gut issues and all these different inflammatory issues. And did you ever think that it could be the microplastics? I sure as heck didn't. I truly did not think about this. I only go to nutrition, exercise, sleep quality, all of these things, which are all key and foundational. But when we think about, I look around my kitchen and it's like, I have so many plastic products. It's unbelievable how much plastic I use. So exposure to microplastics in the bloodstream are linked to increased risk of blood clotting issues, vascular inflammation, and may double the risk of heart attack or stroke in people with heart disease. So microplastic actually carries toxic additives that leach into the body and harm the hormone, reproductive, and immune systems. And reproduction is an area of study with microplastics that's been getting a lot of attention lately, especially for men. So I'm going to make a video about that specifically, so stay tuned for that. So what can we do about it? I've scared the crap out of you guys now with microplastics, and if you aren't afraid, then you need to do a deeper dive. And in the links below, I will have that documentary that my friend sent me. I'll have that link below, and I highly recommend you guys watch that, because that's what really opened my eyes to this. So no definitive method actually exists to remove microplastics from the blood, but there are a few strategies that can reduce exposure and assist with the body's natural processes of renewal. So that's pretty cool. So giving blood, this may seem sort of weird, like you have plastics in your blood and you're going to give it, but people that actually need the blood to live, it's better that they have the blood even if it does have microplastics. And guess what? All of our blood has microplastics. So actually regular blood or plasma donation may help reduce microplastic levels by removing the quote unquote contaminated blood and allowing the body to replenish it. Because our bodies obviously replenish blood. That's why we can safely donate blood, because we're not going to run out of it. Our bodies continually replenish it. So if you regularly donate blood, your body is actually going to be replenishing, and you're going to have a technically cleaner supply of blood running through your body. Dietary adjustments. So this is pretty cool. Eating more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale and berries can enhance the antioxidant activity. Fiber-rich foods like chia and flax promote bowel movements, potentially aiding in elimination, right? And then green tea, loose leaf, not in the plastic, contains polyphenols with anti-inflammatory properties. So there is things we can do. And it gets better. We can put a water filter on our tap, activated carbon or reverse osmosis to remove the microplastics from our drinking water. Awesome. What about the simplest thing you can do? Avoid plastics. Packaged foods and single-use plastics are the absolute easiest thing we can do. Clean with natural products like vinegar or baking soda. And there's actually, I threw this in here because it's super interesting. As a dialysis nurse, I immediately thought, what about dialysis? But obviously the average person, if you don't need to have dialysis, you're not going to get it, right? But there is a plasmapheresis. Clarify clinics in London, England are using plasmapheresis they're advertising that they can reduce the microplastics in your blood, and you would need 3 treatments per year at an estimated cost of 12,500 euros. I don't know how many people can afford that. I certainly couldn't, but it is very fascinating that this has been actually done, that people are paying to have their blood cleaned by plasmapheresis, which is a very unique modality that I learned a little bit about, but I don't currently run treatments on people. But plasmapheresis is actually being performed to remove microplastics from the blood. So I would be very excited to see how this progresses, and when more research has been done on this, and eventually, who knows, maybe that's something that would be available to more people and the price could come down potentially. But that is something that's actually happening right now, so pretty cool. So let's just keep it very simple though. Detox your life from plastics. So let's talk about a basic swap. Swap plastic Tupperware out for glass or stainless steel. A lot of us do this anyways. I vacillate. I have plastic and I also have glass. I have stainless steel, but I still have the plastic. So my commitment is going to be to remove all of my plastic Tupperware. My son uses plastic cups, plates, bowls. I'm going to remove all of that and replace that with a bamboo or a wheat fiber. There's amazing products on the market, you guys. 2025, like there's so many innovations. You can get really cool, durable looking children's Tupperware or children's dinnerware, I guess, to replace your plastics. So that's what I'm going to be committing to doing. Removing my Tupperware, removing my Ziploc bags. You can replace plastic wrap with beeswax wraps. I have not looked into this further, but I'm definitely going to. I don't use a ton of plastic wrap, but it's in my house, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And then of course, get rid of all your plastic Ziploc bags or other branded sandwich zipper or snack bags. Favor natural fibers, so cotton, linen, hemp, and wool, instead of buying fast fashion and synthetic clothing. And this is another video I'm going to do because it really warrants a deep dive, because a lot of these brands that we know and trust and love actually are using plastics in their clothing, and that's just the world we live in. There's nothing, I mean, this video isn't meant to like reprimand you. It's meant to educate you and really sort of like bring it to front of mind. Like, and this is for myself too, like, wow, like, yeah, it's inexpensive, but I don't want that stuff leaching into my bloodstream. I don't want my son wearing clothing that's literally leaching plastics into his skin. I mean, I don't want to do that. Another thing you can do is swap your plastic water bottles for sure with stainless steel. And then switching from liquid to bar soap, that's another thing you can do. And choosing bamboo toothbrushes. Just some quick swaps, right? Not too crazy. So something really exciting that's happening, and that's happened every year for like 15 years, and I didn't even know about it, is No Plastics July. So No Plastics July is a movement, and in the links below, I am going to have, or in the description below, I'm going to have the links for the Plastics Free July website and their social media handles. This is based out of, I believe, Australia, and it's worldwide. So you can check those out whenever you have time. But so Plastics Free July encourages people to choose to refuse one single-use plastic that you use every day. So I already talked about some examples, but here's some more. To-go cups, plastic straws, takeout containers, plastic cutlery, plastic single-use water bottles, already talked about that, but it's worth mentioning again. Plastic grocery bags, sorry for the typo. And then what about buying produce? Like, so many times you go to the store, you buy produce, it's like wrapped in an just exorbitant amount of plastic wrap. Like, why? And it's on like a styrofoam tray. And like, especially broccoli, that's so ridiculous. Like, go to a farmer's market and bring your own cloth bag. And it's super fun for kids to go to farmers markets and to enjoy that experience of purchasing these farm fresh vegetables as a family. And then for your breads, of course, all of our breads and buns and all this stuff is packaged in plastic in the store. That's how it comes. But if you go to a bakery, you could opt for a paper bag, right? I never even thought about that. And then again, removing the plastic sandwich or snack bag. So again, like I said, check out the links in the description below for the Plastic Free July website and social media handles. And comment below, what is a single-use plastic that you really want to stop using and you feel like you could commit to for Plastics Free July? So this is going to be the first of a couple of videos that I'm going to be putting out on this subject. So if you guys want to learn more, then come back and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Have a great day, guys.